Network Entertainment.
And welcome to my podcast, the RJ Ledesma podcast. In my podcast, I like to speak to business leaders and entrepreneurs to find out more about how they think about doing business, what are their success secrets, and can we replicate them for ourselves? And more importantly, what business opportunities and trends do they see emerging in the near future? And this guy is filling up my newsfeed in Instagram and on Facebook and in other social media accounts. Finally, Real Talk Darbs, thanks so much for joining us. Darbie Kim Estrebilla. Darbie, thanks so much for joining us over here.
Thank you very much for having me here. Yo, what's up? This is Real Talk Darbs. Thank you very much sa lahat ng mga nakikinig ngayon. RJ Ledesma, it's just been a dream, but thank you very much for inviting me here. I've been a fan for a long time, and thank you very much. Sitting here in front of you, wow.
Wow, parang matanda na ako. Parang long time. So, for me, I've been looking forward to you. You know what? I find it very inspirational to see the videos coming out because every time I'm there, the job of the entrepreneur is to keep on analyzing. Sabi ko, what's making it work for Darbie? What's making it tick? And I realized that you're also, like me, we're both serial entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur tayo, di ba? But then, we're always trying to figure out how to solve other people's problems.
Exactly.
And what you solved is also a video content problem in the world of social media.
Yes,
Is that
specifically
correct,
entrepreneurs din for
That's
their
right.
business.
Exactly. And we're going to go into that in just a bit.
Cool.
But right now, you've got a new business and you've been talking about it also online. Tell me a bit more about, is that House Creatives?
Yes,
Okay.
House Creatives. So basically, House Creatives is built to help entrepreneurs create content that converts. I think that's the gap na nakikita ko. Being able to be a content creator first, and then once I transitioned into having my own businesses, I realized that super powerful pala yung knowledge that I have because the platform of massive attention right now is not in the television anymore. It's not in the radio, it's social media. And what's great about that is it's free. But the problem is most people don't realize how to utilize it.
Yes.
So parang ang nangyari, I already have a superpower through content. The only problem is, especially if you're just in monetization, nakaasa ka sa monetization, parang empleyado ka pa rin ng social media platform. Then I realized, I think I need to transition. I need to have a product. And then once I was able to do that, so there's this one specific story. I have this food supplement. It's called Sika. And at the back of one specific video, we were able to sell 6 million pesos in just, 10 days.
Wow.
So, the only reason I believe, well, by the way, no ads yun ha. No ads, no extravagant launches. There's nothing, walang Facebook ads, wala ding parang promotion. As it's just in just one video lang. And that's when I realized, wow, this is so amazing that I believe, ako bago pa lang ako na entrepreneur That was my launch of one of the very first few products that I have. So I realized, what if ituro ko to sa mga business owners din. And I truly believe that there are businesses out there that if they just know this part, their business would explode. And I think that there's a gap in that market. So parang sabi ko, my knowledge is the minimum viable product that I can utilize.
You're talking like a startup guy now, huh?
So
Exactly,
I mean, that's when I realized na I think there's no one in the market. Kasi maraming magaling na content creator. Mind
That's
yun,
right, that's
maraming mas magaling sa akin. But I truly believe my strength is I'm able to transfer my knowledge efficiently. So sabi ko, I believe walang ganong content creator Merong iba magaling gumawa ng content, merong iba magaling cinematic and all. But being able to transfer the knowledge from one specific person, which is from me, to them and have them have results, I think that's where I would shine. So that's where I...
Exactly.
create.
Actually, what I call you is that, diba, I often say that, your secret sauce for the business is important because that's your innovation. This is the secret sauce. And secret sauce doesn't necessarily have to be a technology. It's proprietary use of something that nobody can get access to easily. For you, it's actually your proprietary knowledge you've gained over the years of how people react to social media.
Yes.
Or how they can quickly react to social media. Having said that, tell me a bit more about the team. How big is the team now for House Creatives?
So right now we're running around 25 people. I'm very excited to announce this. We're opening an office dyan sa Glaston. Kaya nga House Creatives, hindi mo alam.
Galing sa bahay.
Bahay lang kami.
Bahay mo lang yan.
Bahay lang kami. So sabi ko nga, I didn't have anything great kasi most of the time, pag startup, common mistake daw yun, maglo-loan sa bank,
Oo, wag
tapos
mo na.
magpapatayo ng office.
Wag mo na.
Wala pang product eh. And the concept is not proven. So, what we did is we run through it for 1 to 2 years. And then eventually, now the brand is out there. People are getting results. I think it's time to expand. So we're opening an office. So hopefully by the end of the year, we will increase to 60.
Fantastic.
Yun.
We love to support you over here, RJ Ledesma Podcast, and the entrepreneurial network that I work with. Happy to support what you guys are doing.
Thank you very much.
And I want to just point out a couple of things that you were saying that's very important. What you were doing for the past 2 years is what they call in tech startups or other businesses bootstrapping. Yung pera mo hindi mo hiniram, talagang pinapaikot mo na yung pera na nasa iyo na, di ba?
Yes.
That's one thing. And the other thing that's very interesting is the evolution of your business model. Because nung una, and for people to realize, it's that you were getting money because you were monetizing at first. You were saying, okay, this is the point where I'll make money. But you realize all of a sudden, okay, that's one cash flow, that's one income stream. But there's also another income stream I can generate from selling products by commercial transaction with the people watching. So that's another income stream. And then the third income stream right now, which is, for me, it's a deeper why for why you're in this content creation business, is that nakakatulong ka sa ibang entrepreneur. You're teaching, it's an advocacy, you're teaching people, but at the same time, kumikita ka rin.
Yes.
Diba?
I think that's one of the parang greatest thing that we were able to discover at first. We have what we call MTP, a massive transformative purpose. So kumbaga before it was mission and vision. Right now it's MTP, massive transformative purpose. And our company is create creators that influence transformation. So bakit yon? Because like as a business owner or even content creators, ngayon kasi it's the best way for people to get information is in social media eh. And everybody can be a content creator. Honestly, pwede kang kahit sino na may cellphone and may internet access could become a content creator. But the only problem is, wild west ngayon ng content creation eh. There's no set of rules. Happy nga ako because people right now, meron na nagsasabi na quality content. Like, go back 5 years, even 3 years, walang ganon.
Wala pang best practices noon eh. Wala pang ganyan.
Pero at least now, audience are evolving. But the thing is, even if people are aware, those people who wants to have their content out there, most of them just focus on the views. Sa totoo lang, mabilis mag-viral eh. Kumain ka lang ng tae sa labas ng kalsada, pwede ka mag-viral. Mahirap mag-viral if you're pushing through the values, quality content, gourmet content. There's two types of content sinasabi ko eh. There's a fast food content and gourmet content. And most of the time, people would not opt to gourmet content kasi mahirap gawin. Most of the time, medyo mababa ang views. But in the long run, you develop quality viewers. Most people right now doing fast food content. Whatever it takes just to get the views.
But I'm very interested. I was going to go ask another question, but that made me stop and think for a bit. If you do fast food content and you get more views and likes, it also reflects on the type of demographic or the people who would start becoming your followers versus the followers that you would get in a gourmet content. So if you were to do marketing or sales, you want the gourmet content.
Depth not width. Palagi ko sinasabi sa mga followers ko ito, most people would say, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you have a lot of followers, it's always good. Because it depends on the type of quality followers that you have, especially if in an entrepreneur, because I'm focusing on entrepreneurs, how to make them content creators so that when they promote something, somebody would buy. Dami mo mga followers, are they able to afford whatever it is that you're selling? And most of the time, I truly believe na, sabi ko nga eh, remove mo lang 5 million followers ko, isa lang ang follower ko, basta si Elon Musk. Or I don't know, anyone is quality follower. So, dun yung sinasabi ko sa mga students ko, depth not width. Just focus on the depth, the quality of the followers that you will have. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that could really impact other people's lives as well.
Really great. Now, having said all that one, this makes me curious because, when you were in school, and when I was in school, there was no course to learn about this one. And people are wondering right now, you are an expert in the field of content creation that leads to business.
Yes.
But what was your background to get here? So I want to find out. So I want to find out right now, what's the secret origin of Real Talk Darbs? Communication arts ka ba? Anong course mo nung college?
This is so funny. I've always known, even when I was high school or high school and college, even in elementary, na I have a gift of gab
Oh,
or communication.
I can tell. Oo. Okay nga. Oh.
But the thing is, when I was in college, naman, bata pa tayo, tapos na in love.
Oh.
So, nag-nursing ako.
Nursing ka.
Kasi
Oh.
nursing din yung
Girlfriend mo the time.
ko at that time.
Oh.
So, pro tip, do not base your course sa current relationship mo. So, I would have been in IT siguro or mass communication at that time if it weren't for that. But anyway, hindi ako nagsisi because I've learned specific parang discipline din in nursing that I was able to carry it in my content creation journey. So
I want to just interrupt very quickly because there are so many people I've seen also in the health and beauty industry. Like for example, Jonah Season Ramos, who's also my guest. She has her product is Deer Face, New Moon, Skin Potions, and all the result because sabi niya, she didn't really want to be a nurse, but she was able to take the training of being a nurse. And then may entrepreneurial mindset na sinabay niya dyan, which eventually became her product. And exactly that's, parang yan yung background mo rin. What did you learn from nursing that na parang nagagamit mo ngayon?
I think in nursing kasi you get to connect with different types of people. Kasi sa nursing, parang after third year or fourth year, you will have hospital, what do you call this?
Parang OJT mo. Parang
OJT. So you get to communicate with other people. Also, you will put in a place where so much pressure. Like isipin mo somebody's life is in your hand. So meron kaming prerequisite na dapat mag-assist kami sa surgery, mag-assist kami sa delivery. And at that specific age, to handle that kind of pressure builds character, definitely. Not to mention the fact na dapat marunong ka din mag-report because so much technicalities. Report, pathophysiology and stuff and all. So I think all of those discipline parang was able to parang build up the character that I have. And then plus pumunta pa ako ng Dubai and that definitely really
change your life. And the thing that's interesting is that parang I want to emphasize to people that it doesn't matter what your background is. Nothing is put to waste. Kung nag-HR ka or nag-engineering ka or whatever background, magagamit mo na yan sa current work mo, di ba?
Yeah. How can I say this? Of course, it's very, very important if you can start off a little bit early on the things that you want. Kaya nga ako, I have a kid and I don't impose. Do you already know what you want? Kasi most of the time, if like most parents would want their kids to become a doctor or would become a lawyer, it's not really that we would want them to become a doctor. Most parents would just want the perception of people when they have a kid that has a doctor.
Parang it's clout.
Yes,
it's clout.
Exactly.
Especially in our culture, sometimes it's very important. That's why there's a very strong quote-unquote employee mindset. I want a doctor, I want a lawyer, I want an engineer, I want an accountant.
And to the defense of the parents naman, I mean, that's the kind of culture they grew up with.
Yes,
Maybe
that's
unconsciously they didn't know. Pero what happens with that is, if we try to impose the things that we want sa kids natin, and that is not really their first love, it would come up to a point where they might have fulfilled the parents' dream, but did they fulfill theirs? So palagi kong sinasabi, you might be earning, I don't know, 500,000, 600,000 pesos a month as a doctor. But earning that money every single day, you're not fulfilled. Versus, sabihin na natin, gusto niya talagang maging chef. And then he might only be getting, I don't know, 100,000, 150,000, but the quality of life is way different. So, parang, it's not how much you make, it's how you make it.
That's right, right.
And I believe you can outperform other individual if what is work for others is not work for you.
Yes, exactly. You wake up every day, this is fun to do, or this is life affirming. Parang ganyan sasabi ko.
It's not a 9 to 5 for someone. Like, you cannot beat a person who just loves numbers versus a person who is an accountant for just 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5 lang siya nag-work. That person would basically be doing numbers and shit, and you will never beat that person. So I think that one of the key things for you to become successful is really, as much as you can, as early as you can, find the thing that you really are passionate about and the thing that you love.
Yeah. And that's why I like that, we're talking here about supporting entrepreneurs and finding the things that you love. Because, the Philippines, 99.5% of the businesses are MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. So that means that you will have, there's so many mom and pop stores that are out there. But more than that, in the certain generation where people were growing up, pag naging entrepreneur ka, ibig sabihin dyan, hindi ka makakuha ng magandang, hindi ka nakapasa sa magandang kurso, wala ka makuhang trabaho. And hopefully, in recent years, that sort of mentality when it comes to entrepreneurship has changed. That I think maybe with the startups coming up and people putting up their own business, young Gen Zs and millennials learning to put businesses on their own because they're just watching on YouTube how to put up a business, they're becoming more entrepreneurial. And that's why I salute what you guys are doing because, you're saying, okay, entrepreneurship is great. Let me support you become a better entrepreneur by using the current tools to be able to market your business.
Exactly.
Diba?
In most of the time, meron nga kami isang client na she's already old, like around 50, 60 na. And to think, like, why would someone enroll in this shit? Parang, I mean, maybe most people have a misconception that content creation is only for the millennials and lower. Pero ito siya, she's a business owner. She didn't come there just for the purpose of becoming popular. She came there to our trainings because she wanted to have her business, to save her business. Because wala talagang pumupunta. Parang she parang invested so much in a specific park, so walang pumupunta. So parang that was her last ditch effort to make it work. And then ako, random ko yung grit sa kanya. Isipin mo she attended the 3 days and then we have another program which is called Editing Intensive. Isipin mo, 50 years old, 60 years old, attended an editing intensive.
Siya mismo nag-edit.
Wow! And honestly, I was skeptical. Like, oh my God, maybe there will not be result for her. Pero that, I was so happy seeing her giving a testimonial that after the things that she learned, yung place niya is now becoming the parang tourist spot doon sa lugar nila. So the name is Bonsai Nosato Park.
Okay, Bonsai Nosato Park. Maybe you can feature here also.
Yeah,
I'd love
would be nice.
I'd love to have her here as well.
So as in, talagang nag-boom yung business niya. The problem that I always want to hear to my students is so much inquiry. I don't know how to process it. Parang,
who doesn't want an inquiry? Who doesn't want a problem like that, right?
So thinking about it, parang I'm just so happy na we are given in a specific position where, of course, this is business. I mean, for a business to thrive, I'm very competitive. I want to be a $1 billion company, hopefully in the next couple of years. And we want to make sure to optimize, and we charge premium. We charge 75,000 pesos per person. But to be in a position knowing that your product works and at the same time seeing the real results to people that change them, I think we've been very blessed in that department.
Great. Now, I want to go back now to the story of Dubai. You were a nurse, technically.
Yeah.
Did you actually practice becoming a nurse? Or are you, may nursing license ka ba?
Yes, I was actually 0.5 na lang. Nasa top 10 na ako ng...
okay ka? Ng nursing...
The board exam. But the thing is, it was not really my first love. So, I didn't really see myself practicing nursing, working in a hospital. So maybe siguro magturo, pwede. But then there was a specific company, syempre call center. Yung time na nag-nurse ako, yun kasi yung kasagsagan ng nurse era, di ba? Na gusto. So sobrang daming nurse, hirap makahanap ng work. Because the goal before was to become a nurse, have experience here, and then go abroad and then get so much money. So eventually, I didn't want that, and then nag-apply ako sa what do you call this? Call center. Yan sa ano nga yan, sa Makati, Glorieta. And then after 6 months, my sister told me, hey, why don't you come here in Dubai and then try your luck here? So that was 2012. And then I went there to Dubai. And then, yun, for 10 years, I was there.
Ano ginagawa mo? Ano first trabaho mo sa Dubai?
So since I was call center, customer service akong first 3 years ko doon. Like talagang each time. If somebody tells me right now that I'm lucky, I'm gonna punch them in the face. No, I was not lucky. Like, I really have to eat a lot of shit. I mean, at first, like, it was... Oh my God. Looking back at it now, there was one specific moment where my parents maybe spent more than 5-10 million just for me to go to school. And then I was there in Dubai, middle of the afternoon, punching fucking invoices.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, fuck this. Parang, is this really the life that I want? Parang may ganong moment. And then, syempre, pasok mo na yung culture shock because it's different to work with multinational people than of Filipino. Dito kasi, you get what you want when you're nice eh. Doon, syempre, you get that kind of notion. Doon, pag nice ka, you get taken advantage of.
Okay.
So parang, doon na-develop talaga yung character ko. I'm not saying that I'm an asshole, by the way, but I'm just saying that it taught me a lot. And I'm glad that I was there because I believe I would not be able to have a specific container that I have right now if it weren't for the character development.
So it was character building for you. So the first 3 years was character building
I was
for you.
10 years.
10 years. But the first 3 was in customer service.
Customer service.
Oh, wow. So from there, when did you start, I guess, venturing into doing content? Was it because out of boredom, out of what? So how did it start off for you?
This is a very good question. I've always known na I am a creative individual. High school pa lang ako, elementary bata pa lang ako, naglalaro na ako ng mga laruan. Bago matalo ng bida yung kalaban, mabubugbog muna siya tapos may mga script siya na sinasabi.
Ikaw yan.
Ako yan.
Yung play acting yan, ikaw yan.
So meron akong yung mga ganong way ako on how, hindi agad, patay. So merong
may storya. May story arc yan. May story arc. Episodic pa yan.
And subconscious, I didn't know na hindi ko alam, pero parang I was naturally into it. And then high school, pag may role-playing, palaging akong tinatawag. Even in college, when there's extracurricular activities or reporting, ako talaga yan. That's my comfort zone. So, corporate world for 10 years. So, 3 years ako naging customer service and then I was in sales. So, sabi mo sa food ka, diba? So, I was in sales, food service din kami. We're serving hotels. So, client ko Burj Khalifa, client ko Armani Hotel and all in Dubai. So, during those times, naalala ko pa nga yung company brochure was Excel sheet.
Wow.
And there were 15 years in the company. Tapos Excel sheet lang ang pinapakita nila sa mga chef. So it's like crazy. So I went in there, sabi ko, boss, I can do better. So ang ginawa ko, gumawa ako ng product sheet. So mga graphics and all, sobrang nagandahan sila na pinamass produce na yon. So what do I mean by that? It means that kahit anong suppress ko, lumalabas yung creativity. So, and then I was promoted to sales and then pinirate ako ng different companies. So, my salary kept on increasing. So, in sales kasi, as long as you deliver the result, people would not ask what you do or stuff and all. So, I have extra little bit time. So, naalala ko noon, ang target ko, 14 million pesos per month. I was able to hit it. So, my bosses was not really so...
They weren't bothering you too much.
Too much. So minsan stress. Wala na akong work niya. 4. Hindi na kami pinapabalik sa office. So there was, I was so fat before eh. And then into ako sa gym. So there was this one specific gym in Dubai, Filipino owned. Gumawa sila ng contest. It's called para siyang Biggest Loser style. And then since I was a member of that gym and they were looking for talents, and yung director nun, close ko. So, ginawa akong courtside parang reporter.
Parang commentator ka.
So, first, that was the first live event, Facebook live event na ginawa sa Dubai. Hindi pa uso yung live nun. Kami nagpasimuno nun. So, dito ko na-discover na parang there's really an edge, innate. Parang I could play basketball for 15 years but I will never be as good as LeBron James because he's just so talented. Innate sa kanya yun. So, I found my innateness from that moment. Kasi parang pinagsabay kami ng Kabayan Patroller na isang reporter din na kinuha. Kabayan Patroller siya ng ABS-CBN. Sabihin, mas may experience siya sa akin. Pero nung pinapunta kami sa camera, tapos walang script, kasi ano pa lang yun eh, parang ragtag lang na team yun eh. Binigyan lang kami ng outline. Mas nagbabakel siya kaysa sa akin.
So ikaw, kaya mo yung adlib?
Kaya mo yung adlib, hindi ako nagbabakel. And always, the director was so happy that whenever there's a dead air, papapasukin niya lang ako, bahala na ako. And then he was so always happy with the result. So doon ko na-realize, maybe there's something in here. So eventually, gumawa kami ng isang team para siyang boys night out. Tapos sa rooftop kami. And then doon ko na-realize na every time I speak, people would tend to listen. Kasi may mga topics eh. So then can I realize, why don't I create a page? So August 2018, I created my own page, Real Talk Darbs, and then the rest was history.
Wow. Interesting. And then when you started doing Real Talk Darbs, when did you start realizing the quote unquote income potential from doing the page or the business model for doing what you're doing in terms of content?
So, before, wala pa akong entrepreneurial mindset noon because all I was thinking of, the only way for me to get rich is to become an employee or have a specific skill set that people would pay.
Pay you to hire you because ikaw lang nakakagawa.
Gawa nun. So, when there was a specific moment when yung Facebook ko umabot, at that time umabot ng $3,000 at that time. So, fuck, parang okay to It was not consistent, pero 3,000, 1,500, 3,000. So sabi ko, this is viable.
But where were you generating the money from in Facebook? How were you getting paid? Because of doing what?
Content.
Content lang. So, search content lang. Sa Facebook professional account, di ba? Right? Or?
It's a page.
It's
Facebook
a page. Facebook page mo.
Facebook page. 3 minutes above, you will get full monetization. And then what happens there is, yun lang ang problema nun, inconsistent.
Okay.
But on a good day, I was able to get, at that time, siguro 3,000. Masaya na ako nun, 3,500. Sobrang saya ko na nun. Kasi parang it's already, masaya ka sa ginagawa mo tapos kumikita ka pa. And then, that's when I realized na, this might be something. And then, eventually, after that, I feel bad because the company is paying me high and I feel as if I'm not, parang I feel overpaid.
I see.
This was 2019. I feel overpaid kasi parang mas nagfo-focus na ako sa content creation. So sabi ko, I will have to have runway money. Sa runway money, sabi ko, I need to have a fixed money for me to quit my job as an OFW and do this full time.
So you already thought at the time, okay, there's potential and I might be able to do this content creation full time, but I need to create your own parang fund to make sure that you can transition into full-time creatorship.
What's up, Kingdom fam? Yuki and Ingrid here from the Kingdom Podcast. Are you someone who has fully integrated K-pop into your life? Or keep up with the latest K-pop comebacks, news, and scandals?
Do you also dream about getting married to your bias and having their babies in the future? Well, you're in the right... What? I'm just being honest.
Look, you know what? Let's just get back to it. At the Kingdom Podcast, we dive into the latest comebacks, dissect the music videos, and do deep dives on controversies.
Not only do we make things informative, but we also keep it fun. It'll be just like listening to a group of friends who love K-pop as much as you.
You won't find another podcast that's as fun and unfiltered as ours.
So, if you're ready for some K-pop chaos, grab your nightsticks and tune in.
Check out the Kingdom Podcast.
Stream it on all your favorite podcast platforms. Stay awesome, Kingdom fam! I thought that was pretty good. What do you think?
Marrying your bias and having their babies? Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Question lang, many people are scared to leave their day jobs. But you were probably scared also.
Very much.
Very scared. But what convinced you that even if I had to leave my day job, I would still go through it?
The only thing that was playing on my mind at that specific time is that, sabi ko, if this doesn't work, I can always get another shitty job.
Okay.
But if I don't try this, the worst that could happen is on my deathbed, I don't want to say I wish I did what I wanted to do.
And talaga, that was the driving force for you.
Parang that's the saddest thing that you can hear is regret. So sabi ko, ayokong mangyari yun sa akin. So, and mind you, I quit my job not because my boss is an asshole or my company is shit. Everything was great. Everything is great. And then the salary, the compensation is good. So it must have mean something na I might really like what I'm about to do. Kasi there's no external forces pushing me. So 2019 I decided runway money. So sa lahat ng mga nakikinig dyan ngayon, if ever you're someone who is in this position, don't just throw everything away. Don't just quit. If you're gonna do something stupid, do it smart. Because most people think that what I did was stupid. Because I already have a very good job. And at that time, I don't know, 2018, 2019, content creation as a full-time.
Not yet a career choice.
Hindi katulad ngayon, wow, buti ka pa. It's being glorified. Before, it's
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
So, mahirap nga gawin siya dito sa Pilipinas. Paano pa dun sa Dubai? Kasi lahat has an expense. So then, I did that. Sobrang ganda nito kasi the curriculum that we're doing right now sa trainings namin was conceived because I need to have money. So, sabi ko doon even if I only earn half of what I'm earning right now, but doing the things that I love, I'm good, sabi ko.
Okay.
Sabi ko na, and then the runway money, kinalculate ko na that even if I don't earn a dime from this for 1 year, I would be good. Sabi ko, napaka-incompetent ko naman na sa isang taon hindi ako kikita. So, I took the shot. I resigned. So, 2020 ako nag-resign, I believe. That's when the pandemic hits.
Nako, wow. What a kakatakot lang yan parang you quit in pandemic. Oh no. Di ba?
It was good because people were worried for their jobs. They were not prepared. I was ready for
I
it.
see. Okay.
Diba? It's like I was ready for it. And I didn't realize it at that time, but that was the best time to quit because everybody is in their home listening to social media. Diba? Sabi niya, pandemic content. So, I don't know. I did that. I jumped. And then, sabi ko na I need to create a course kasi yung monetization ko pag ganun-ganon. So, I really put myself down there for I think 5 days just thinking of the course. How can I produce? How can I do this? And then I was just so focused, not because I want to, but because I have to. So the lesson there is maybe there's a specific situation in your life that you are forced to do things. Take that moment as an opportunity to really push forward because sometimes not having an option is a blessing.
I see.
So even that course, as tulad ng sinabi ko, is still the curriculum, the thing that we're following. And to think na I still pay homage to that, na even with all the learnings that I have, because of that specific moment, we created something. I was able to create something. Tapos, yun, I was scared to charge 20,000 pesos at that time for my training.
And you were still based in Dubai at this time?
I was in Dubai. I was scared, I was scared. Sabi ko, I think, siguro lang, kahit mga 3,000, sabi ko doon. So, somebody told me, ganito na lang. So, isa sa curriculum mo is parang learning Canva or how to create or outlining. If you're gonna pay someone to outline for you, how much does it cost? Ako, sabi niya, I'm paying 10 to 15,000 pesos for that person. Mind you, that's just part of your curriculum. So, you charging 3,500 pesos is not worth it. So, charge 20,000. I was scared. Parang meron, kasi ganun may ano kayo, may...
Of course, you have a sort of imposter syndrome at the start.
Parang, who's gonna fucking pay 20,000 pesos? Sabi niya sa akin, you just have to break the zero. You just have to break the zero. Kasi, ang mental wallet mo, kasi hindi ka magbabayad ng 20,000. But you don't know the market. So, I put it out there. So, my first, guess what? My first batch was 25 people.
Oh, wow.
So, I was so happy. By the way, wala pa akong ads noon and all. Just
and online lang to?
Online lang yun. Pure marketing lang yun. 3 days, tuloy-tuloy.
And the course was also done online?
Online lang. Zoom lang din yun eh. So, yun. I mean, that was the beginning of it. So, I have been teaching since 2020 pa. Talaga.
Okay, so the first one was that when you were doing this one, the initial monetization was that doing content.
Yes.
But you realized that wouldn't be enough for your runway.
Yes.
And that's why you thought you'd come up with a course.
Yes.
That's right, no? Was there any time when you were doing this one where you said, I want to give up and go back to work? People have those type of self-doubts. Or was it tuloy-tuloy ka lang after doing this one?
You know what? Honestly, parang having the opportunity to build your own castle is addicting. So ganito kasi yan. I mean, I don't have anything against people who are an employee. It's fine. Kasi employee din ako. And I think at some point you need to become one. But if you're an employee kasi, somebody is paying you to build their dreams for them. So you're building the bricks to someone else's castle. Na regardless of what happens, those bricks you will not take home with you. It's already there at that business. having the opportunity to build my own castle with my own bricks, parang that gave me a sense of fulfillment, even if it was difficult. Mind you, it was not easy. It was very, very difficult, but it was worth it. And maybe those people whose it has never been so easy to win in this era. It's just that maybe we need to listen to people who can point us on the right direction.
That's
See, most of the time, maybe the wrong people, we're listening to the wrong people.
Wow. So you started off with 20 people who came to your course then.
20
Then nag-snowball na lang, you got more and more people. What was the point when you were doing what you were doing in terms of the classes, no? That you realized, oh my God, I've grown a business. Or that aha moment that, wow, it's this big now. What was that point for you?
Honestly, at that specific time, I didn't really consider it full-time. It was just a nice to have. Because yung batch 1 allowed me to parang create something that I love and at the same time get me extra money. But I was not really in trouble. Parang yung shit, if I don't make this, I will be bankrupt. Walang ganon. It's just that siguro it was more of love of teaching than of needing money. Pero parang nandun na din sa part na yon. And then eventually it allowed me to really evolve as a person because I was able to teach those kind of things to individuals that was able to get results.
Wow. And then so it's grown, you are personally fulfilled, you're getting more clients. So when did you finally say, okay, Dubai, bye-bye, Dubai, back home? What is that?
Actually, aksidente lang din yun. You've been in Dubai, tama?
Yes.
And if you compare, the quality of life there is way different here. So it was really never my intention to leave Dubai because 10 years ba naman ako doon. So there was this specific situation where there were so many projects that I have to do here na parang in 1 month, twice akong bumalik. Or in the span of 1 month, twice akong pabalik-balik dito. And then, I decided to stay here for 3 months, there were so many projects, so many things. Sabi ko na, I think it's really viable for me to stay here, that I would earn more if I stay here than of stay in Dubai. So that's when I decided to really go here and do it. By the way, hindi pa rin yon na, because the monetization at that time, 2020, 2021, 2022 was so good na earning 7 figures per month of monetization lang. So,
and that's from monetization from your content.
From your content. It's very, very good talaga. By the way, it's not anymore like that right now because there's a lot of things that change. But that's when I realized na parang, this is bad. Parang meron akong parang foresight that, syempre, if you're earning 7 figures or at least almost 7 figures every month at yun lang ang tanging inaasahan mo na pera, and then your lifestyle would adapt to that money, and if an algorithm change, you get blocked or something,
that's it for you.
Done.
Yeah.
So at the height of that, I told myself already, I need to have a business. So hindi ko na I didn't wait until the well dried up. I dig another well while the other one is still working. So doon ako nag-isip ng paraan, how can I venture? So maybe information business could also be great. And then I decided to, kasi before na nagtuturo ako, it was just in an angle of content creators. Because I only teach things that works for me. Because that's how I can sustain it eh. Hindi pwedeng turuan ko din ng business owners, wala naman akong business.
Because you're speaking from experience.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just speaking from experience. So, and then at that specific time, sinabi ko na I want to venture into business as well. So yun, food supplement and snacks business.
Why did you choose food supplements and snacks? Because it was that was probably the easiest barrier to entry for you.
Yes, there was partners. I have partners as well that I was able to parang paired up with. And then the only thing that I have to offer was my influence and my content creation. Influence lang talaga, the face. But little did I know na sobrang potent pala nung knowledge on how to make content and you mix it up with business. Like being able to know how to create an ad creative in Facebook from a creator's point of view. Like people are wasting 10, 20 million pesos to contents that are substandard but they're still earning. So imagine if you have a very good parang psychologically targeted content na specific for that person, you tailor fit it for that audience, the ROAS or return on ad spend is so high. So doon ko na-realize na fuck, I have something most business owners would want to have. Kasi in FB ads or paid ads right now, which most multi or billion businesses are built on, one thing is for certain, you need to have great creatives. So I think that's where I came in. So I did it, was able to prove that whatever it is that I'm teaching helped me, helped my business. So why can't I teach this as well? So doon ako nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob na, okay, I'll angle this to business owners because it helped my business as well.
So the evolution for you was, so that for people watching, the evolution was, okay, I'll create content. Oh, it's monetizing now. After monetizing, I go, okay, let me teach now content creation to people while I'm still monetizing
Yes.
from my content.
Yes.
Then from there, eventually said, okay, this well might dry up. I can't stay forever teaching content per se. Maybe there's a bigger opportunity to do business, to teach content creation to business owners, but I've got to be a business owner myself. Yeah. And that's when you develop the food supplements, and it worked. So right now, your current business is correct me if I'm wrong, it's also having your own set of businesses,
Yes.
plus still teaching content creation.
Yes, definitely. Because we pride ourselves in house creatives to teach things that are actually working and we are still continuously parang using. Kasi yun ang parang kumbaga downside on what we do, especially in teaching this. The landscape of social media changed so fast na there's always a new thing, always. So if you don't have a proper playing field to apply those knowledge, you will get left behind. There will be someone else. So we make sure na we're not just coaches, we're playing coaches.
Playing coach. I love that, playing coach. So let's get now to a better appreciation for the people who are doing business right now. A lot of the people who actually listen to the podcast are entrepreneurs. And so there's a gap right now between what they are producing, because many of them, they're starting to get off the ball. I mean, the most basic way most owners will go is, okay, let me post on Facebook. Let me talk about it. Let me try boosting ads. Or let me try target boosting ads now. But then, or sometimes let's hire an agency to do that one. And that I would think is the natural progression for many businesses as they grow. But you're seeing a gap between what material is being produced and what you are doing here right now that is more effective. Help our business owners understand what is that gap that they need, that where you get come in. What are the things that you want to educate them? What's the free course that you can tell them about? What are some things that you think that they can work on?
So there's a lot of studies that shows na people would tend to buy, 85% of people would tend to buy on businesses or a specific product if the owner or it has a face. Now, most probably, I don't know ang ratio ng mga business owners who doesn't want to be a face of their brand, like especially SMEs. But I really think that there is a specific parang superpower that the owner is the one being the face of the brand. So let's just assume that you're already convinced with that fact, despite of sobrang numerous studies na, diba, na pag my face ang brand, it would really shoot up. The next best step is how can you now become a consistent figure of your content or of your
company, your brand.
Of your brand. So that the next best way is to develop a personal brand. How can you develop a personal brand? Now that's good to hire agencies, but one of the things about agencies, especially on content production, is how can I say this?
Hindi sila content creators, they're
Hindi sila
agencies.
I think that's one of our advantages because I have an exhibit A. And not to mention the fact that there's so many business owners already who gave their testimonials that they were able to actually have results. So, yun to kasi yan. If you decide to like create content on your own, hi guys, my name is Darbs and nandito tayo ngayon, nakikita niyo yung business, that in itself will not work 100%. You know why? Because the first 3 seconds is, hi guys. Nobody's gonna give a shit. Nobody's gonna give a shit about the business. No. So, ang hook rate mo palang sobrang baba na. So, meron akong tinatawag na framework na tinuturo ko sa mga seminars ko. SRE, Script, Record, Edit. Those three things, kasi most of the time, paano ba gumawa ng magandang content? You're just overwhelmed because you just don't know how the process is. So I'm telling you the process, SRE, Script, Record, Edit. Sa script, meron niyang tatlong part. Pag gumagawa ka ng script, you have to have three things lang. Hook, value, payoff. Hook. Alam mo ba that 5% of people suffer from this disease and you won't believe there's only one thing that can solve this? Mm-hmm. That's already a very good hook. Mm-mm. And that one thing that solves that problem is your product. Mm-mm. Right? Value. Siyempre, hindi ka lang dapat nagbebenta. You have to give value on this. So, research shows na diabetes is a very evident part of life. And that most people are affected by this. 98% of... Tapos, sasabihin mo na agad yung sa payoff. But, despite of those studies, paano pag sinabi ko sa iyo that you can actually prevent it just by one simple thing? Being able to do proper tracking of your food. Mm. And then dun mo na sa dulo sasabihin, and this is where we would come in. Mm. So very powerful na start. Dapat ma-communicate in the first 15 seconds.
Yes.
15 seconds, first 5 seconds
First 5
dapat.
seconds lang, okay.
Pero pansin mo yung pagkakasunod-sunod, hindi kita binentahan agad. I was able to let you understand things. It's very informative because there's value. And then it was set up to a point where the solution is the one that I'm offering. So that's what a value or that's what an ad content looks like. Iba din naman ang value content. So what we teach is there you have to have a separation. Meron kang value content for personal brand and meron ka dapat ad content for your ads na iraran ng media buyer mo. So for value content, dapat wala kang CTA. Ang CTA mo lang is if you like...
CTA, for people don't, that means call to action.
Call to action.
Okay,
So hindi mo dapat sila bibentahan. What if I tell you na bibigyan kita ng 10,000 pesos ngayon? What would you feel?
Yeah, of course.
Very happy, di ba? Pero pag sinabi ko sa'yo na titira ako sa inyo ng 3 months.
That will make me step back.
Exactly. You feel bad, right? Most of the time, ganun nangyayari sa mga value content na may sell sa dulo. Binigyan mo ng value, pero may bawi ka sa dulo eh. Bigay mo na yung 10,000. What would you feel? Walang kapalit.
Yeah, syempre masaya, di ba?
Exactly. So I think that's what you have to do when you try to give value content. No CTA. Siguro may CTA ka man, pero pinaka-max na is if you like what you saw, please follow for more. Hindi ko sinasabi habang buhay hindi ka magsi-CTA. Meron akong rule na 80-20. Sa 8 na content mo, siguro 2 doon may CTA.
Okay, so let's give an example of 80-20 rule when you're doing content. We're building my content, let's say. What's the 80% that's coming out of my content should be what? And what's the 20% I should be doing?
So, 80% of your content should be giving value based on, like say for example, are you creating content because you just want to become popular or you're creating content because you want to position yourself as the expert of this specific niche because you have a specific product or you have a specific service. So let's say na ganon, creator-led company. Parang yun, creator-led company. So you wanted to be the face of the brand but you already have a business already. Just like my clients right now, like mga sino to? Surgeons, financial advisors, real estate agents. So I would suggest you create a specific topic that really educates, gives value based on that niche. So there's a 3 types. These are the 3 types of real estate na dapat mong iwasan, and you won't believe sa number 3 because most people, 90% of people make this mistake. So number 1, blah, 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 blah. So if you like what you saw, please follow for more. Okay. Ganon dapat lahat.
That's value.
Value,
That's
80%.
Para the value is the learning that they get from you. Okay.
Exactly.
And then the 20% is the actual ad, the actual selling.
Mag-sell ka doon mismo sa page mo.
And when you sell, that is the content na the SRE. That's correct? No. That's the hook already. That's the hook value.
Lahat yun. Even if it's an ad content or a value content, hook, value, payoff pa rin.
Same thing, but it just that happens to be when it comes to ad content, that's medyo hard sell na yan.
Direct selling ang
direct
tawag
selling
doon.
na
Direct
yan.
response pala ang tawag doon. Pero may value pa rin, in a sense. So, that's basically one of the major reasons why we're able to fill up, I don't know, 1,000, 1,300 na, what do you call this, na seminars, it's because we're able to really, ang ads namin really is educational. And at the same time, they would feel as if this is something that they would really need. Kasi most of the time, when we promote the products, lalo na sa mga entrepreneurs right now, we do not have a clear identification of who our target market is. Maybe it's just an assumption na alam mo. But you don't realize na, like kami, our prices were premium before, like 50, 70,000, but we're targeting content creators. In most of the time, content creators na gustong matuto ng content creation, hindi na yung mga established content creators, yung mga pausbong pa lang eh. And most of the time, the budget usually doesn't fit on that range. So our messaging, our product was right, but the messaging was wrong. So we need to target the right specific market who are capable of purchasing yung product namin.
Got that.
Business owners.
Very interesting. This has been a great interview. I want to keep on going on and on. I think we'll go for 2 hours. But then, for the benefit of those listening, the entrepreneurs who are just starting off, and especially creating content for themselves, what is the key pieces of advice that you want to have them take home?
Okay. First of all, I think most people, especially business owners, siguro hindi na pwedeng sabihin na hindi sila marunong gumawa because there's so many information. I'm not telling you to learn it from me. There's so many great free, learnings out there. Pero ito kasi ang hack na na-realize ko. People pays attention. So kahit ibigay mo yung pinaka-the best dyan, if it's free, people will not actually put value on this. And sa totoo lang, that's the reason why I put a price to it, not because I know that people would take action. And if in case, sabihin na natin na alam na nila paano gagawin. Kasi marami akong mga students, they already know what to do. I've already give them the know-how. Pero bakit hindi pa rin sila gumagawa? It's not because they're scared of failure, but because they're scared of the judgment when they fail. Takot sila na i-judge ng mga competitors nila, ng mga kapatid nila, bakit sila nagsasalita sa social media, mukha naman silang tanga. That's so much so that it stops them from actually doing one specific thing that could actually uplift the business that they have. In most of the time, not just in business, in life, hindi natin nagagawa yung bagay na gusto natin gawin only because we're overvaluing people's opinion so much. And I think that's why it's called, there's an art of not giving a fuck.
That's right. And it's also part of what I call growth mindset. Sometimes you just have to fail, but it's just a matter of feedback. Failure is feedback for you. You get better. If you don't shoot your first video, you'll never shoot a second video.
Yes.
You'll never shoot a third video from that one over there.
So ang palagi kong sinasabi is hindi nga sila takot mahulog sa bike. Takot sila pagtawanan nung nahulog sila sa bike. They can bear the pain, but not when they're being laughed at. The master was once a disaster. And that's the reason why not everybody is capable of becoming a master, because only a master is willing to look like a fool for quite some time.
Got that. I love that. If people want to do the Real Talk Darbs course, tell a bit more about what they can join.
So we have level 1 and level 2. We have level 1 content that converts. Level 2 is content mastery bootcamp. Just go to House Creatives page. We're having content that converts this month end. Basically that's the level 1, and you can always follow House Creatives as well page and Real Talk Darbs. So I created a specific page, Viralpreneur by Real Talk Darbs. There I share, I analyze issue. Kasi sabi ko before, ayoko na mag-analyze ng issue because it's not true to me. And then I was able to find an angle where I'll just choose specific issues na may related sa business.
That's right. That's even better.
Yes.
Like for me, I find that more relevant to me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Parang doon ko nakuha yung group ko na I don't have to really stop where people knew me, but I just have to angle it in a way that it's true to me and true to the people. So doon, and also different stories of marketing, doon ko din nilalagay. So if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone who wants to develop a personal brand, just go ahead and follow that. Viralpreneur by Real Talk Darbs.
And with that, Darbs, thanks so much for joining us here in the RJ Ledesma podcast.
Yes.
I learned so much personally. Looking forward to collaborating with you in the near future. Thanks so much for joining us at the RJ Ledesma podcast. Thanks, guys.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.